Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, based upon your location. Welcome on our today box from the Gedeh Communication Network Incorporated, operating for the telecom community here in Zwedu, Grand Gedeh County. Today, face the issue. Friday, 27 days gone already, March 2026, 21 minutes to 9 p.m. in our country. Welcome to face the issue. Uh, Our Friday edition today will focus on the governance system, regime change, governor in power, representation, Grand Gedeh County in a maze of confusion, wanting to do the right thing. Where are we? Where are we heading? Again, today we will be specific to be looking at the government initiative. The government of Liberia have decided to assist counties. But then today our focus will be on our heritage, what we have, the program, and then Representative Jeremiah Gausukan, District Number 1, called a meeting. Stakeholders, opinion leaders, citizens gathered there, and there was a conversation in our meeting. So we'll be bringing the highlight of it. We'll bring you some presentations, some remarks. He called that meeting. When he called it is an obligation. That is his responsibility. Anytime he comes for a constituent visit, he can call his citizen to talk to them and tell them, make a report to them, and tell his citizen, you elected me, this is what I have to do. But the other school of thought, we want to know what was he calling this time around, calling us, calling the citizen of this county, this district, to a meeting to talk to them, giving us advantages and the disadvantages of their meeting and what news from that meeting. When leaders have a press conference, when leaders call citizens, when they give a report, after that, when media institutions are invited, they go there, and then at the end of the day, then um, make a report and analyze, cite it. Then we'll also be telling the people the good and bad side of every core meeting. So today we are here to analyze, and we'll be bringing you after our analysis. Then we both have a conversation to tell you, to inform you, so that together we can be able to make a difference. But Grand Gedeh County, where are we? When we were informing you, when the voice of Gedeh family, from the Gedeh people and county, there's one thing we need to root out from Grand Gedeh County here. And only elect minds can do it. People who are ready for development are those that can be able to face the fact, face the issue. You face it, then at the end of the day, you look for a sector rectification with the opinion that you can be able to move on as people and country. We'll take our musical break when we. Good morning again, Representative Jeremiah Gausuka. Upon his arrival in the county, in his district, and called media institution called cross sections of citizens. His team members informed the citizen, his district, that the representative will be here. He has some messages for the people after later on. The You want to also inform the citizens so that they have an idea on which is where. So a call meeting, and citizens gathered at his residence, and then we were there. So the message that from the houses more, you will be hearing it, that after work we'll be able to do the analysis. Now, the superintendent of this county, acting superintendent Eddie Tessia Graham was there. Davis and Bali were also there. Members of the civil society network were there. We saw Mr. Kai Attila were also there. Liban were also there for the civil society background. We also at that meeting, the representation from the offices of Senator Zoe Meyer-Penn were also there, represented by a media consultant. And then Romeo Kanye was there, the consultant on media activity for movement and development. Then we also saw Mr. Rufus Diku, who gave a remark on behalf of Senator Zoe Meyer-Penn office, and at the same time in his capacity as chairperson, the national chairperson for the Zoe Penn Movement for Development, also make a remark there. And cross sections of people, some governments, and on peace and security, and then rule of law and peace, first peace last. The superintendent of the county, Superintendent Elitesia Grant, were also there and make a remark at that program. And then the next person again, one of our development partner representation were also there, and LRB Energy were represented by its manager, Mr. Jerry Constitution. Some of our sister stations here, they were represented there also, including our institution were also represented there too, for that program today. So again, let's bring you a highlight from that gallery.
Just like one superintendent of the county, the local authority officials present.
Yeah.
Honorable Zoe who is present to his representation. The leaders from the Muslim community, pastors of churches, and every person in the Christian community, as well as the Muslim, our chiefs, elders, our young people, the school system, recognizing the principle of the Israeli Multilateral High School, the institution that was soon before Israeli Multilateral Institute. The civil society, let me end by recognizing the young men and women who continue to strengthen me, inspire me in the sense of soca, including our communities and everyone. I said good afternoon to all of you. I will begin by, before I go to see something, I will thank all our security people, from the police to the Syria, the EFL, I want to thank them for the work they do while we sleep, while we walk around, all right and safe. I do thank you. Everybody will say after me, slavery will never be the same. Everything, slavery will never be the same. Nigeria will never be the same. Voice of Gedeh. Before that be anything, what we do, very complicated work, but we continue to move and monitor the because we know that we are to play a very important role in the life of the citizen and every business. See general life, the main goal, we found our name, we let our name, particularly during the same time to get our attention. Our citizen, we are here in this one today. So first of all, as we have taken a role as we are representing, we have two upwards, just in 2 weeks. More importantly, is to without the own role to on this day. Now, people, you send me to be a representative for January to be very important. We've done a lot of things. We've just named 2 things that we do. One, we were able, as every multilateral high school, we pour a bill, we are funded, the place very multilateral in power. I'm pleased to tell you that today, in the House of Representatives, we all agree in Israeli multilateral high school we will change the Israeli multilateral institute. I want to use this time to thank the Honorable Speaker of the House of Representatives and the President of Honorable Labrador and some including the Deputy Speaker, Thomas, and all my friends that agree with me that Israeli multilateral house will need to be given the power that they want. That will allow the Israeli multilateral high school to get money directly for the government. It will allow them to now go out. It will allow them to bring better teachers. Now, one step away, I will show I told the principal that when we get back, I will show where the Senate to make sure it's from Congress, and I will show to work and go to the national and look forward for the president and do this during very multilateral, not only the power of all not only that, the last time we were on the prayer with the vice president, we told the vice president about many things. As the vice president reviewed the 2 IMOs in the UK. The vice president, year from year, he told the president put on a speech. They began on this media as a flash that you and across the world, yesterday the Bible says, spend 30 minutes together, and the Bible says, show the people around your country. He said, I'm not really going. Tell the people around your country. And the president was yesterday, he said, my brother, my latest by April, by the end of the world, will also do. So, I'm ready to I want to call on the people to surrender. I want to call the people to put a big hand out together for this excellency to send my God. This is not politics. This is not politics. This is an appreciation, a gratitude for the people who appreciate and effort to transform life into jobs in this place and transform our city and our country. And so, this Excellency, this Executive Branch and the Unity Party administration, I, as a representative of District 1, want to thank you for the tremendous effort in making sure that the people is being activated and work for the interest. His Excellency, and the Honorable Vice President, while we commend you for the progress you made, we want you to continue on this good path. Now, should improve benefit, job to the people of Redwood, the president of this country, the streets of this country, and every town in this country. We look forward to seeing that this country are prioritized in the operation of people in the coming months and years ahead. So we know, and people, we are very we are very close. So we the prayers along with the president. We will pray for how we should continue to pray for them and continue to stay on them to make sure that people is being activated and working for the benefit of this country, the Southeast, and the Republic of Nigeria. Let's listen to them. A special day not only for the people of this world, but for the country at large. There have been about 6 to 7 months now. We oppose the administration of the Liberal Legislative Commission, Central Commission, work with Liberal Energy, Lip. And after all the work we did in about 6 to 7 months, today I'm here and I want you to join me to thank the leadership of our Sharif, the managing director of the office of His Excellency President Lord Joseph Mahmoud for living and responding to requests placed by This district representative, Honorable Jeremiah Nelson, to the back of this district and all the powers in Benjamin. We are able to bring a maximum low electricity material of about 280,000 United dollars. These material to reach out to communities that do not have labor. Our first priority, our citizen, is our area community that do not have labor. The day that I will go where we get statistics, we want him over the next couple of months to reach out and give our people access to electricity. This also includes the care and constitution. Yes, we will now. We will include Saitan, we will include Winter, Sultan. These line, militants are on the road. The wire passing over them. So, as a maintenance, they should have access to coming. So, the bill, we will definitely with them so that they are not left out of the morning life, electricity, and better life, because all Nigerians must have access and enjoy the benefit of this development. So, people our best. Everything you tell us when we go here, we continue to fight. So I asked that we do earlier, because I want you to go and see the material yourself. You will take a picture yourself. Then we will leave from here, we will turn over the material to the secretary of the country. The secretary then will turn that over to the other. But I say now, y'all listen now. Hello? Hello? Let me tell you now. I want you here today. Whatever be here, the day I was supposed to go there. The day I was supposed to go there. When the young lady to start a fire, then I said, when you go there, let me go. You will be now, when we community again. So God bless you. I'm going to tell you now. So always put on in peace in the blessing of the people of the Suwa and the people of Regular Country. To draw over officially. We want to I know you know what to do. And so I so separate and for the benefit of the people with materials now turn into the pier for the people of the one or the people of Regional Council. I thank you, my people. I thank you, That's the voice of the representative seated in Jamaica with Sukan making his remark and special statement. We are now joined for special statement. The MC is studying the similar in the consider. It's my top house. Okay, I'm representing Secretary Mohammed as a national chairman of the Zone Movement for Development. On behalf of the Senator and the ZNP, we are so proud that you elected the right person. So proud. The chairman of the caucus, our great old man, Honorable Jeremiah, Mr. Vice Honorable Chester Brent, and all us, the local authority on ground, I recognize the Muslim community. Okay, this program is a good program. The Senator sent me to come and represent them and the movement. Just to thank this colleague, representatives, Honorable Jeremiah, for this government gave on that they asked that we work the government. They asked that you are able to be fair. They asked that you want to see me and one envelope. As you say, my three things happen, I will say, thank you so much. Thank you very much. So I got a one question earlier. We recognize our tremendous beginning of life family on the NSS level. So Our brothers, infants, members of our state, distinguished Nigerians, ladies and gentlemen, one and all. You know, I'm happy that all of you know and said that you see serious government, you know it. You see serious government, you know it. You see serious government, you know it. And I would say this statement, this special statement with Martin Superintendent always tells you how to brand. Here on the program, marking this turning over of this individual, entering the country from the angle of Representative Jeremiah Satan for the voice of Gedeh radio, speaking on behalf and as a head of the team. I'm here with my colleague, Monday. We talk to you and we talk to you again. You know who you are here. Today we will not see Africa's number one DJ.
Moral lesson. Now, when we were telling you here, there's still a lot to be done in Grand Gedeh County. You know, people were just saying and thinking that they're getting stories. We're not running a political affair here. We're not telling you something that we are still to be corrected. No, we dig out the fight. We tell you what is unfolding, where Grand Gedeh stands. This is a drama that have started. In between, even at the program, Senator Zoe, in my opinion, is something as to whether that is or whether that the government. Can you just imagine whether the government or whether the government provide the fact that here we take God take you? No, Mr. Rufus Deku, no way. That no clearly explained to us that you don't even know where these things are coming from. You see what happened? Few hours back, the debate started. People trying to claim who provided these things. To have gone through that program as was initially planned 2 o'clock because there was a serial minor reconciliation discussions held in 2 zones to end the drama between the forces, the loyalists to Senator Zoe Maya and Representative Jeremiah Sukan at the detriment of the people together. We spoke on it. We continue to tell you every day. 95% of the leaders in Grand Gedeh County did not mean well for the country. 95% of them, they're still sleeping. Government provision for the people of Grand Gedeh County. You see, if you have unity party, the ruling establishment, official in this county, the current chair of unity led government, that is a ruling establishment in the county, they can't explain to all what government are do. So when government bringing something in a place, the politicians from Grand Gedeh, the leaders from Grand Gedeh County, people want to score goals. Moses will be talking, Moses will be thinking, Moses follow up. And let me just forget about calling other names. Now, they put things started where Senator wanted to tell the people of Grand Gedeh County that this was the initiated through the instrumentality of Senator Zoe Maipen. Representative Jeremiah also can own a group, the loyalists, pick it up and say, no, that's not true. And they went on, Tantana lasting one another repetition. I mean, Muna be both from in the village, but they are doing Kuma. Because their bosses, they wanted their bosses to be the one for the people of Grand Gedeh County to know that they are the one that are working the most. When the last Senator Prince Nyomi Johnson is proceeding to the government of the Republic of Liberia at the time, with now seated Vice President Jeremiah Kwan, the team the division and in initiated help to your own people. You are making confusion. People got to go today, elders got to get involved, representative and senator representative Grand County go for a settlement first into zone program 2 o'clock. Initially planned for 2 o'clock. By that time, Representative Sogan had left for 2 zone to have a conversation on reconciliation with Senator Zoe, in my opinion. Only because few hours ago when he material came in the country, who want to be who? And you see how Grand leaders can always divide the people. Piano leaders are content. We continue as the Voice of Gedeh family continue to tell you they're not helping you. Few hours by yourself causing one another on Facebook and all the kind of thing. And at the end of the day, they both went to 2 zone. When they went to 2 zone, they had a conversation. They put us out. The two of them were in the house. They talk. In the end, at the end of the day, they came back. The program continued after the article. The time that was agreed upon. We couldn't have had a program to for the people of Grand County if we were not to have that reconciliation meeting today. You see what happened to Grand County? The leaders of Grand County, they don't love Grand. And one of the terrifying things that happened at that on that Palava Hall, at that meeting today, I will tell you. And the superintendent of Grand County need to be very mindful to come to that. So the issue of division I will address then by section. The issue of division in Grand County is key that every Grand should get on their knees to pray. That the division in Grand County will need a county-wide dialogue. From every town to every village, we need to have a conciliatory dialogue in our county. Then before we pray for God to forgive us, we need to dig out the stories. We need to point out what is happening. We need to be sincere to our very self on what is happening. We'll take our musical break when we are back. Then we'll continue the conversation. We clear us observation on the weather condition this evening.
It's time to let our voices in night, God washing and watching God, praising the power of knowledge. Join the river princess for your pastor.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, it will be deep. In my material up to the answer. Mm. Okay. The second component, it has to do with the communication. We understood that from the deliberation, the representative said he wrote. He sent a communication to the managing director or maybe board chairperson. We are here to get our communication. I think in the interest of the people, then nothing is secret. They represent, because when you're representing, they have put on Facebook people. So the communication from the representative office, talking for his people, lobbying for them, we need that communication because something is doubtful in between. Grand Gedeh County geographically is divided. 3 districts. Kwinembo Chien Basil. Administrative district. So if we are discussing administration, then we say, okay, Grand Gedeh has 8 administrative districts. So if a representative that representing a district will write on behalf of the district, granted is a good thing. If he wrote on behalf of Grand Gedeh County in the name of Grand Gedeh County, because mind you now, the representative for also is representing Grand Gedeh. Specifically in the law, he's representing District 1. He can also write on behalf of Grand Gedeh. So that needs to be made clear. We need to know. The letter, the communication that was written to the Liberia Electricity Corporation Managing Director, that you must think about the people of my district or you think about the people of Grand Gedeh County. When it comes to electrification expansion, we need to know. You wrote for Chien District. Now, based upon that, government help you with District 1. Material for District 1. Does that in any way mean that District 2 representative can also write for the I? District 3 representative can still do the same thing? What happened if government say our provision was for the people of Grand Gedeh County? So Grand Gedeh County, then why single as Zaitown, Wayne they're not the only places. What happening with Solo Town? What happened with Solo Town? These are things that had the potential of creating sectional dispute. What happened with Pokot Town? What happened with Biaitawi? They are on the road. On the country, Grand Gedeh County. What happened with Pelezon? What happened with Tufa Town? What happened with Gladys Town? What happened with Dean? So we need to be specific because this is the way in which these are things that we not just they not go attend the program. People can say, oh yeah, do recording, do interview. No, there is some time now after the program, we come back on the drawing board to do the analysis on all these sweet speeches that people make. We look into it and then we'll bring it out to the public court. The program was held. It was a heated debate who provided it. Today it was clear the district number 1 representative was the one who wrote and sent the plight of the people. And it went on the president plate. The president said, yeah, Grand Gedeh is part of my children. I got 15. Grand Gedeh is one of them. So y'all go ahead, you can give them something. We also understood that this gesture also was extended to Lima and other counties. We'll get a total from them. Then in our subsequent debate, we will be able to also inform you on it. And everybody will get pieces of the cake. So say we eat Grand Gedeh, let's discuss Grand Gedeh before we can move out. So the materials are here. So we need to know from Representative Sokan office that communication, what was the content of the communication? Was the communication a restricted communication with regard to push agenda for key materials that came were based upon the request of Happy Chain District or Grand Gedeh County as a whole? Because the reason why we continue to ask the question, because it was a heated debate between the loyalists of Senator Zoe Imaepenu and Representative Jeremiah that prompted some reconciliatory conference in Tucson. In my view, I know about how Grand Gedeh leaders can behave. That thing, it will go long way. It will go long way on the ground that the reconciliation meeting that were held today in Tucson, the root cause, the causes were not dug until we can realize, because voice upon voice went from loyalists. So Zoe, in my opinion, often came to make a remark, and they were still doubtful on the ground that the national chairperson for the ZPMD, Mr. Rufus Deku, stated on record in this recording that just ended that whether or not that the government provide the fact remain the representative well for you to come university or public court. Why you can be clear? If you show that the government provide, is it not the government? If you think that the government provided it, you say that the government, before the whole drama started from you. So y'all gonna start confusing the citizens around here and let somebody tell us the truth. We need to see that. The next thing is that 280,000 that will be that 36 community will be affected. It's the Kavala went down, and then Zaid down, just named them. We are still in total doubt why they had to jump over Suruta. We'll take our musical break. When we are back, then we'll continue this conversation. And now, so the communication was written, and then we want to know the content of the communication because that's something good. So it's no secret about that. That communication will also tell us that communication we have accepted it. Now, another school of thought, government provision. Government decided to do this thing. So if the government initiated, then the unity partisan, the representation for the government here needs to also be telling us whether if this is a government initiative, government had a plan, and like the yellow machine business are coming. The government have planned to bought the yellow machine, they will divide it to all. So the yellow machine can't come for somebody with government to bring yellow machine. So now that we have this situation concerning the post, so we need to know. And the division among the leaders of Grand Gedeh County, they validated the debate to the extent that today citizens were seated waiting only for the 2 o'clock meeting to be held and extended up to pretty close to 4 p.m. Before we finish around 4 o'clock. The reason is because two of our lawmakers, they are in a beef. Somebody is not satisfied the way the presentation will be made. At the end of the day, they have to move to Tucson and have the reconciliation there. From there, that reconciliation was just today reconciliation because we needed to have the program. But there are still a deep-rooted things between. So we still need the elders. In fact, when I say elders, they're not independent in the first place. Because when they go to start taking stuff, which are the representatives will go to and speak for. But something is not right between our leaders in this county. That was exhibited between the two leaders. District number 1 representative and Senator Zoe Marpin. It's an open secret that the entire county is aware. So nobody should have it. Because that's the only way things so I mean we will get things straight in a year. With a debate. You started vision at the end of the day today we saw your intus on there. During reconciliation. You move from there now, you came back. The representation from Senator Zoe Marpin clearly telling us again whether that the government provide or whether he lobby from whether that he say or whether that the government provide, whether the government provided it or not. The fact remains authentic. No, something is not right. The people are the victim. The second thing has to do with why LRB energy. You know, my musical break all of the time. I get it prepared because the way we are talking about LRB energy, they can't make your current journal. They will soon care current. But the debate is why LRB energy this time? Here to Kuma LRB energy, you pay for the wire from it after the triangle where the LEPO is situated to run to your house. You have to pay for the wire that going to that place. When you pay, then they bring the meter and have you connected. The meter part is by law that when you have electricity, you need to be identified with a meter. But everything that has to do with the current going to your house, if you are not, you have to pay. The citizen will pay. Now, God initiated. The representative talk to the government. Government say, okay, this is what we have for the people. Now you're brought it. LRB is under obligation to doing 3 things at the same time. Why LRB energy? You see the possibility why you can be linked to corruption. Even the representative that brought the representative that lobbied for the initiative can be linked to corruption. On the ground, what motivated your decisions? LRB energy is under obligation with the contract signed between the Liberian government and the company to provide electricity in the southeast. To begin with Grand Gedeh County grade. So that Grand Gedeh County grade, it means that LRB energy will do something. The LRB Energy will do is almost like the agreement we signed with Total. Because LRB Energy will supply local economy with electricity. You will expand electricity, meaning that you will carry current to other places that current not air before. You will carry it. You carry current there. To begin with Zwedu now. Even if Zwedu LRB Energy is not capacitated, you know that people can put their general. But LRB Energy not even get the strength. They're not able, if they load too heavy now immediately to do so, it will take them years before they can even cover Zwedu. Your own thinking, if their players should be the Republic, since you're been here from the time LRB came, what time you're really here in the Kura Bapa community? 4 transformers, LRB Energy. New Zwedu, 3 transformers, LRB Energy. Lepo, wires, all the kind of things like that. Community members were buying transformer here. People were paying $20, $30, $5, $10, $1, 2 cents. They were paying and buying transformer for their various communities. So a company that should be here to provide electricity for the people, community members were having an agreement to buy transformers. With all of that, it's difficult for the institution, they still struggling to grab hold Zwedu, that the 56 communities of Zwedu will be affected with LEC. Sometimes today, telecom community, all because of transformer business. Sometimes after 2-3 weeks later, then they come on. Sometimes New Zwedu get there. Sometimes Paswa Hill coming all the way to the community, and Buena Quarter will get there and be affected. 1 month or maybe 3 days or 4 days, they restore current to the other place. So that how it has been to say consistently we have covered Zwedu from the time the company came to the place that they should have done now. They did not do it because they had challenges. You saw all of that. And you went, you saw 400,000 plus United States dollars where they say LRB Energy to do few communities. We are here to understand and see the contract that was signed with LRB Energy because in acknowledgement, the beneficiary needs to have the contract. The beneficiary needs the contract. That is by law. You can't be doing a project where we that get a project, we that will be enjoying it and need to draw our sustainability plan. We don't have the contract. How do we do the checking and balancing? So when they put bringing material that are not up to the standard according to the contract, who will rectify that? Who will? You see it? We are here to see the contract. That was my question today to Representative Jeremiah Sokan. But I was not answered. Now, the second thing is you get them 400,000 plus contract. The first one they have, they say she's still crying. Till now you can't get current in prayer home. Yaliville. Marville. Greening community, free zone community. You can't get a new Jordan. Car Avenue. From Child Friendly Way all the way on that side. You can't get it. Gallo Bay, you can't get current. ERS there, you can't get current. To these places. You see it? Motor community behind there. You can't get current. LRB have been here now for some years. Our children now already know all their family life. The children we when LRB came out just born. They ask them right now, they are quite young and getting the house. They asking you, be telling you how your grandpa from Togoita and Gia. Just to tell you that the time the institution stay here, even if you are going to high school, you not buy your parents, just decide they don't go to school again, but not good for you. They stay long around here. That's still affected in totality. You talk about the most today. The Basel people say the thing that left with us, our resources. You take the money and give it to LRB Energy. That contract is pending. So, Representative Jeremiah also got what is your intake? Why are you thinking about? Why LRB energy again? Why are you suggesting LRB energy? The good thing that you did. So you bring in LRB energy again? Why are you creating the condition? The decision was wrong. The decision of placing LRB energy on top of this and that the government of Liberia agreed to help your people. You put LRB energy on top of it. Now the material will be turned over to LRB energy. You see, where people can be linked to corruption, they will say, okay, and it will take you more than 10 years before you can explain to people that you know. Anybody now can say, okay, the reason why Representative Soka kept pushing this thing here, or he suggested, he decided that they must turn all this into LRB energy, it is because they wanted, when you give it to LRB energy will not be buying material again. That money that is all used to buy material, they will get a cut. How can you explain to the old man from inside Solo Town to convince her? The old lady that I know go. Stage debate. The people here, the first thing they got to do, they not do it. They put the superintendent and a team, they took our money again, they gave it to the people. They knew what your brother gave the government help all way again. Then you take it again, you give it to the same people. So why are they saying LRB energy? Why? Why are they LRB energy? Before they come in your LRB energy in this place here, the Liberia Electricity Corporation have posts. Zoetu were electrified. So to Grand Gedeh County were initiated, I think the LEC, they are being paid by the government of Liberia, and the appeal should be made to LEC on this discussion that we need LEC expertise so that you can come and then have the coal planted. We have a company down there that doing private work. You as government, you can have all the posts erected, run in various homes for business purpose, and then LRB energy will now come send the transformer to the various homes. In the absence of LRB energy, the Liberia Electricity Corporation is charged with the responsibility of giving every household current in this republic that deserves to have current. So why LRB energy? Why you decide to do this? Let LRB energy. Now my question today to Representative Soka: after there any MOU, will there be a memorandum of understanding between, now is from you to the superintendent? Now the superintendent will now be turning it over to LRB energy. Will there be any memorandum of understanding in between there for check and balances, for international best practice in observing of the 4 R's principle? Will there be a memorandum of understanding turning over to the superintendent should regular LRB energy can take the now? The superintendent of this country, without fear and favor, without the interest of the people of Grand Gedeh County, they gave you $280,000 worth for electrification material for the people of Grand Gedeh County. You just take it and give it to the company right there on the program. You just took it and gave it to the company right there from your office, my superintendent. What report can you give your own office? You receive it, you are on record without doing the verification, without even looking at the way bill. The quantity of the material that landed in your county that will turn over to you as a superintendent of this county, without seeing the way bill to know the quality, the quantity of the material that came as per the denomination and the sector. You just take it and turn it over. Part of your responsibility, the material you are in the presence of your development officer, your development superintendent. You just took it. You say LRB energy, yeah, they can take delivery of it. You see what happening when leaders are not together? If the superintendent of this country actually met well for the people of Grand Gedeh and say, okay, nothing is in road. We're not in a theater. to say when they die. No. The material will turn over to you by virtue of your instruction and responsibility. The drivers should proceed to the palace. And by tomorrow, be any day you can come so that we can do the verification of the materials so that we can be able to know the materials that you are taking, and for me to have an idea that then the public get to know where, which one of those communities that will be affected. How will you for the 400,000 plus? So then the people of Grand Gedeh County will get to know that the communities will sign the 400 plus thousand dollars with LRB Energy. The material that came will not go to that community. The other communities that were not affected will be the one that benefited. Nothing of that kind was discussed to the Honorable Superintendent. He just told the full material. The way you took the 4,000, you and your team member. You see what happening? You see what you're doing to the people of Grand Gedeh County? So why are we treating our own people the way we are treating them? Why? Why are we doing the way the thing that we are doing? Y'all give it to LRB Energy. You took it and give it to LRB Energy. They're taking delivery of it. So the 280,000 US dollar worth of material that the government gave. Now you're asking people when you see sewer money government, you know. When you see sewer government, you know. The sewer government was the one that provided the sewer thing that you took and tell where took it on LRB Energy. So that the decision you, but you felt that people not like you. So after you say when you see sewer or superintendent, you know, the people said no. No, you can't do that to us. No, we not agree. When you see serious superintendent, it will be difficult for you to know on the ground that they just gave you 280,000 United States dollar worth of electrification material. That's what they gave you right here for the people of Grand Gedeh County. You stay here without even telling your team member in the county to give on the account tomorrow. But you know the reason why you did it, because you can't make report. If you can make report, those things they will be included in your report. Your development superintendent was seated beside you, and you did not do a consultation. I am now instructing my development superintendent to take charge. You can report the material versus the way bill, so that I have an idea. And immediately, my development superintendent is chairing the committee right now to know the communities that will be affected, that are not mentioned or that was not included in the contract we have with LRB Energy. And I need a report within the next 72 hours. But you say under the place, and you say LRB Energy, you can't take it. LRB Energy have been taking the thing already. The 400,000 contract I signed with them when I said, the place they came in the pool, who know? The very first thing for check and balances, they post the material they brought now beside the tension wire that will not be able to see. You know, black wire them. Those wire then said that when they test tomorrow and passing horses with it in your block community, we can be able to see say the one they brought. For you to be using the community that they think you can bring to my wire so that you can connect me. How you get it? Citizen participation. It's lacking. Those posts that were brought here today, you should have insisted that it be coded. It will be written on the government of Liberia initiative. Then we know anytime we see the poll, we know that the poll they brought, the government initiated as an A here. They're not a 400,000 contract pool. They're not LRB own material they brought here. Then we can get to know. The day we see that poor there living and going to refugee, we'll say, no, government of Liberia initiated for GGC, Grand Gile County. Chief, they pull you can't carry it. Development works. The how development comes about. The how people can take responsibility of what was provided. What is the sustainability plan for the initiative government gave up? Nothing. So the question that we're asking Representative Sokan, that was it. Would there be a memorandum of understanding? What is the responsibility of LRB Energy? Now we are giving this into LRB Energy. What is the LRB Energy an institution? You bring the material and give it to you, go plan the pole. It's not possible that way. It's not working. LRB Energy is not a government company. It's not Grand Gile County people company that you can kind of say, you go work. LRB Energy will need fuel to use their cars to distribute the poles. They have workers. These are extra you're getting to do. They are going in the field to work. Who pays them? They're working for LRB Energy. They say, do LRB Energy work. They work, they come in to do it. Not LRB Energy work. That government initiated to the people of Grand Gile County or to the people of District 1. So when they come into work, they need a contract. That's a complete labor violation. If you continue like that, and somebody work for LRB Energy and raise a labor issue, they will drag the county there tomorrow. So it was not emotive, almost superintendent. This is an initiative. Before LRB Energy can start the work, you as a superintendent need to know. We need a contract. We need a memorandum of understanding. LRB Energy need to tell they will not do free work for the people of Grand Gile County. They have never done a free work before. To expand electricity in 5 community or few community, you get a 400,000+ United States dollars. Then you bring $280,000 worth of material in the county for them to. So you're not paying them. How they pay their workers? You pay them. This is an extra project. You have to pay them. So why are you guys in rush? So you see, at the end of the day again, you will go in the account, you will take something from there and say you're using to pay LRB Energy. And then the people will be in doubt. You'll say you took the decision without informing them. You're sleeping. Every time. The reason why the superintendent continue to make mistakes is because the superintendent don't have law for the county. Mr. Superintendent, if you have law for the county, the step you took today, you shouldn't have taken the step. That was the reason why when you ask the citizen, if you see good superintendent, you know, serious superintendent, you know, the person say, no, chief. No. Almost you don't do that thing to us. Because the decision you took against the people of this county, this is how you took the decision. And why will you take that decision as a superintendent of Grand Gile County against the people of Grand Gile? You see that? This is where we are. Debate, not confrontation. Sector rectification. We need to inform the people of Grand Gile. And you kept insisting that the superintendent validated our debate here from the Voice of Gedeh family, from the Gedeh Communication Network Incorporated. We insist that Grand Gile, capital MUST, must be good again. And the superintendent joined us. And he's saying Grand Gile will be good again. But the angle from which he's saying that is not correct. How you say you want Grand Gile again, they give you material on behalf of the people of Grand Gile. You that today, everyone all went for that program today. You told the world and you told the people of this country and Liberia that anything that comes into Grand Gile County is not your interest. They gave you 280,000 United States dollars worth of material. You took it in just split second, you give it to LRB Energy without memorandum of understanding. So the thing you get is when they take it and sell it. What will you say? You have a contract with the company? By virtue of the responsibility, you are the superintendent of the county. So my second question to Representative Soka again was, what do you hope to achieve? They say by virtue of the responsibility, the superintendent is the virtue of the county. So what I hope to achieve was the material here, I gave it to him for proper monitoring. And case closed, he play a part. I give it to you. They not break, you turn it over to the people. They think the people carry, you know how many of the leopards are in the county? You don't know. And now you'll be calling the people. I know you're calling the people already. Call the people say, yeah, my issue before you tell that in their country. No. It be later. We take our musical break when we are back. Then we obtain your conversation, your opinion. 87838 0775-151-308. On our WhatsApp line, you can call on +231 772 770 212 to put your question. This is where we are. Division, Grand Jira County leaders, stay continuing. When people are not working together, this is why you have. Let's take our first caller on the line.
Thank you. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. How are you today? Welcome. Where are you joining us from?
Yeah, thank you. This is Julian Cafe, and I'm joining you from Baptist Community.
Go ahead, sir.
I really admire your discipline in the education. The reasons you try to learn some of the steps. Just because international education for training, you start to just say workshop. You know, like you said, that is the principles of good manager. Well, when you have a huge amount of material supply in the county, you see the silver circle, you think of a turnover, or what the superintendent senate already decided that. Because you know why? They are supposed to receive a supply. The leaders is asking the people to double the effort. Meaning, if you're supposed to go to pull up that which is building community, you gotta go to the chairman to do appreciation. And they need to start. They need to start. So the media can speak against it. There's an intelligent information that I'm providing. So, you said the superintendent that will over the court for the quantity of electrical wires and everything. You cannot get account for everything. I've got this place before. I don't know what you're so excited, but when I noticed that because sometimes there were a lot of forever divers. And you know, there are a lot of forever divers. So it creates some, that ambiguity of some of them. And we adapted the structure and we go for stories. This initiative was national government and has to $50 to that. We have to ask him if this money was the government money, because when you look at it, the government is not able to say, look, this is national issues. So when you are benefiting from this local government through them, we should know the things of what the government is to us. Because we will be going to the manufacturers tomorrow by 2029. There will be some of these things. Unions will come out. But this is what we want to follow on the radio. So thank you very much. I really follow. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. It was a nice time talking to you on Voice of Gedeh Radio. Good evening. Welcome to the Voice of Gedeh Radio. Who am I talking to?
Thank you very much for attending the Marvel School.
Mr. Toe, go ahead quickly.
What happened here is that one thing, and to be administrator that another thing. There are people who have opportunities to be in position, but they are not administrators. So you will never see them performing administrative role, but they will perform a role So when you don't understand administration, then you go all the thing as a medical nurse. Medical nurse can go through procedure, your own procedure there will come. So the manner in which the material will turn over can run things, so it was not fun. And so when the troops knew the administrative rule, that means you were just turn over to the development to the intended who have the development power. And who also reported to him. Then he got somebody to supervise, then he will be looking for report. So right now, the question is, so administration then, he asked, but he doesn't know the administration role. He just being offered to be in position. Thank you.
Thank you, my dear brother. It was a nice time talking to you on Voice of Gedeh Radio. Keep putting your calls through on 0880 077.
Yeah, thank you. VOG, you are talking to Professor Joseph K. Tayo.
Go ahead, sir. How are you today?
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you for being there today to cover the program. All of you, the food escape that went there, I want to thank all of you. What I want to say is that not stupid people.
No, you got professor, you gotta take it back. You gotta take it back.
Yeah,
Take it back.
everybody should take off.
Yeah, professor, take it back first. You have to take it back.
Yeah, no, I take it back. I take
Okay.
it back.
Okay.
You know, my mind referred to, my mind went to this couple of times that traditional music as a book, so that you know, you have that music on your plate one day, or even basically, you should play it. I mean, when people, they should not just take us to be any kind of people that they can play on their mind. Up to now, you know, this is a debate. The debate is now starting and not confrontation. And this issue here, maybe we are going to say,
Yeah, good, sir. How are you today? Welcome to the Voice of Gedeh Radio.
yeah, Mr. Seri, we are doing for Gambia. Thank you so much. So the subject, this is very cool. For me, I have a question. And thank God, person of you witness the quote-unquote event I was on today. Here's my question. What's the quantity of material that was brought today from Grand to their countries? How many poles are we discussing about? How many pieces of cable wires that we are discussing now? How many transformers that we are discussing? The second question is, those materials, what the cost, the what cost of all of the materials, because of the representative, approximately 200,000, that again also read about 50,000. So which one are we taking home that even if it is 50,000 or 400,000, who spends this amount of money to purchase those materials for the people of going to that country? I think it's important that the people of going to that country to know 100% so that they can know that life post. That's a huge life post. How many life posts? How many pieces of life posts? How many This year provides also from police.
All right. Thank you, sir. It was a nice time having you on the Voice of Gedeh Radio, making your contribution. I said, after the program today, they when the Representative Sukan were after the program, so he left the stage. All of them, the most senior government official, the platform guests left, and then you were walking back to a home to retire, going back to a house. And then they will press interaction with me. Only the ELBC Paul Ramsey spoke with him, and he was live on Paul Ramsey show on the phone. So he was talking to Paul Ramsey, and then I squeezed in and asking. I think that was the only question today that that represent the slogan on the press. This question represent Jeremiah Gow. Will there be any memorandum of understanding? Because my take has to do with the issue of transparency and accountability. Now, LRB Energy is a private company. If you're asking them to do a work, you need to pay them. They need to have responsibility. They have workers. They're not working for the local government. They're not working for the government of Liberia. In partnership with government, they are doing their business. So government initiated for the people of Grand Gedeh County, if we are selecting again for the third time, they want LRB Energy. So there should be some understanding. LRB Energy will give you this thing. This is what you do. This is what the community will do. This is what the local government will do. There were no way bill presented today to say, okay, the material that came in, we had this number of polls, even also did not in any way go through the way bill for us to know. They were still being parked on the truck, on the low bay, they were there. The way they came from Monrovia, the two trucks were all there. Now, I think what Representative Sokan did by turning it over to the superintendent, it was the superintendent's responsibility. Receive them, that which they received them. They say, okay, at this person, maybe by tomorrow, I'm again inviting the press. And then the LRB NNJ come to the palace so that we can be able to look at the way bill, verify what came to Grand Gedeh County per denomination. The cable wire, this is the tension wire, what is mentioned on the way bill. We have this number of meter. The level, the type of poles that came, the wooden pole that came, when they had some cement pole there, so that the people of Grand Gedeh. But that was not done. The superintendent intended over to LRB Energy. If it were not by obey, if there was something that in the paper or maybe in the keke or test it, that one they'll come to ride the keke and take it from right down and carry straight to it. But the fact remains that the superintendent over the LRB Energy, it means that LRB Energy now in full control, they can go and use anything they want to do, they do. Now the superintendent now can explain to the people of Grand Gedeh County what the team received today. Government, he say, you see, serial government, you know. The serial government that gave you the material that why you took in just place second, you turn it over to the company. What are you turning over to the company? The same way you tell the phone right asking over that to them, that's no here. That's what you're still doing here. So you see what happening? It's a very serious issue in Grand Gedeh County. Now we need to speak it out. That's what I always told some of our colleagues. That look, good evening and welcome to the Voice of Gedeh.
Yeah, this is Professor Guy. I'm sorry I went out of the place.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Okay, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much. You know, this is a debate that is just starting, a confrontation. And this, debate here is the starting part of it is that we want to know, the people of Grand Gedeh, they want to know, what is investment? The government, the boycott, the United government, or they were good senator, you see, a good superintendent, you will know. So that is the thing where our question is coming from. We want to know now so that we will appreciate something that what we say from Black American Day or for change history. We really want to know, and that is the thing of it. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Professor Tayan, for the benefit. This is a government initiative that represents the SOCAN lobby, according to him. But again, I don't want to be a PRO for representing SOCAN. Let's take the break and bring their recording again so that you can listen to it. You can listen to it here so that we can all, we the people that we can hear it. You know, let's hear what the people say.
Just like one student at graduate accounting, all of the local authority officials, presidents, honorable Joe Manuel Senator graduate accounting, who is petition the leaders from the Muslim community, pastors of churches, and every person in the Christian community as well as the Muslim community. Was a long ago, the school system recognizing the principle of Israeli multilateral high school, the institution that was soon become Israeli Multilateral Institute. The civil society and the media people and are representing the young men and women who continue to strengthen me, inspire me in the face of Satan, including our communities and everyone. I said good afternoon to all of you. Yeah, how do you? Yeah, how do everybody? Yeah, how do you? Begin by, before I go to say something, I will thank all security people from the police to the Syria, the AFL. I want to thank them for the work they do while we sleep, while we walk around, they continue to make sure we are all right. Everybody will say after me, Israel will never be the same. Israel will never be the same. Nigeria will never be the same. Always put them. Before I go, I will thank LC and LRB what they do. Very complicated one. I will continue to remain committed to us because we know that we are to play a very important role in the life of the citizen in every business. I see General Pride, the men there, we found again, we real again, that we doing practical job, and commit up with Jerry at the same time to real people. Our Sultan, we are here in District 1 today to first of all, come as we have taken a role as your representative. Give a few updates on some things we just get into. More importantly, for the family to know is a big understanding. Now, people, you sent me to be a representative from January to the very moment. We've done a lot of things. I will just name two things that will do. One, we were able to report a bill to our friend to those young people in power. I'm pleased to tell you that today, in the House of Representatives, we all agree in as well multilateral house we will change the federal multilateral institute. I want to use the time to thank the Honorable Speaker of the House of Representatives and the President of Honorable Richard Agbeko and some Greens and the two other members, including the WC, all my friends, that agree with me that very multilateral house will remain the power that they want. That will allow the very multilateral high school to get money to work with the government. It will allow them to now go out. It will allow them to bring better teachers. It will allow them to expand the way we want to do it. Now, one step ahead, I will show I told the principal that when we get back, I will show where they set it to make sure it's compliant. And I will show to work and go to the marshal. We look forward for the president that even is giving very multilateral, not only the power, but all the immunity that is so which is to operate as an institute. I was in the time William with the vice president. We gave the vice president about many things. And so vice president reviewed the 2-year-old movement. The vice president left from here. We told the president put a speech. I come back today to play on this. Yesterday, the vice president has spent 30 minutes together. And the vice president showed the people of Rankin County. He said, I'm really going. Tell the people of Rankin County. And the president is excellency just like my brother. And we just by April, by end of we will put to prayers with so, on the matter, I want to call on the people to surrender. I want to call on the country to be strong. This is not politics. This is not politics. This is an appreciation, a gratitude from the people who appreciate the work and effort that's going to transform country, jobs in this place. This Excellency, this Executive Party, and the Unity Party administration, I, as a representative of Teacher One, want to thank you for the committed effort in making sure that the people now is reactivated and work for the interests of the His Excellency and the Honorable Vice President, while we commend you for the progress we made, we want you to continue on this good path. Now, put your ways to bring good benefits on to the people of the country. The business of the country, the universities of this country, every town in this country, we look forward to seeing that this country are prioritized in the recognition of the people in the coming months and years ahead. So we know, and we know, we are very close to them. We are close to concluding this chapter. We are very close. Please, we will pray for how we should continue to pray for them and continue to stay on them to make sure that who is reactivated is working for the benefit of this country, the Southeast, and the Republic of Nigeria. Let's listen to them. Is the one of the county alive. They have been about 6 to 7 months now. We approached the administration of the Liberian Electricity Corporation and the Electricity Corporation sent 2 mission work with it. And after all the work we did in about 6 to 7 months, today I'm here and I want you to join me to thank the leadership of our Mohammed Sharif, the managing director of the Liberian Electricity Corporation. The other Joseph Mapai for living and responding effectively to the requests placed by this district representative Honorable Jeremiah Alsina. Today I'm here to for the men of this listen 280,000 these material will be used to restore and do not have labor. Our first priority, our citizen, is an area community that do not have labor. We pray that I will move here. The enemy is here. The very statistic of our months to restore and give our people access to electricity. This also includes a consultation with the center, with ULM, is a winter or summertime. This line, wintertimes are on the road. The line passing over them. So as maintenance, we should have access to carrying. Also, today, you will also, as a maintenance radio, you will definitely so that we are not left out of the modern life of Nigerians must have access and enjoy the benefit of this development.
So now I think clearly all of Nigerians must enjoy this development. So it's a Nigerians developmental activities. So now we went to Tucson today so that the inclusion of the other towns can be specified. So they were included from that discussion today that Yamapu, Wellington, there's Zaita. So then why you jump over Solo Town? So why you jump over Solo Town? You jump over Solo Town because the government people why you jump. That the second thing, the sectional bus you want to open. It will take you 50 years to explain some of the decisions that you're taking around here. They're very fighting the global people in Solo Town. You say, but the representative said it from the discussion, from that tete-a-tete between here and the senator, they included all of town and left out Solo Town. Because the senator's interest is there, debate. And it will take you years before your supporter next time explain it. The question now, why you jump over Solo Town? Why you can't include Solo Town? Say you want to bring in other towns. Then you put Solo Town there. You include Solo Town. Because the first phase of the LRB energy, that the first phase of that 400,000, whether Zaid Town not there, Zaid Town was not there because it went from Port Town way. When they had the lighting there, let's take that color. Good evening and welcome to the Voice of Gedeh Radio. Who am I talking to?
You are telling the master too.
Yeah, Mr. To, go ahead.
Okay, the town that was listed were 3 towns. The 2 towns were listed as last. He said, Queen Town, Day Town, and Sulu Town. 3 towns he listed. So just starting it will pay you get Sulu Town included. So that's it.
All right, okay, thank you, sir. Thank you, Chief. Yeah, they go open there already. Yeah, so that one you need to move from there. Say, yeah, thank you. Now, so this project is a grand Gedeh project. Good evening, come to Voice of Gedeh Radio.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I think you, yeah.
It is now clear. When somebody does something, we should appreciate the good thing. All those are lobbying around anything for this improvement of Representative Sukan, and I'm sure Senator Zofeno. I'm sure saying here this thing were given to Grand Gedeh by the government of the Republic of Liberia through the entity that we call LEC. There is a difference between LEC and LRB energy here. So, I'm saying that the debate is just starting, but not consultation. So we are getting and where they are coming from. It is this thing to Grand Gila County, it is not an individual like a representative or a senator who brought this thing, for the country. It belongs to the country. Whatever down, whatsoever down that is in Grand Gila, when they put it there, I want to say, thank you, and thank you to Honorable Soka, Honorable Soka for that. I also want to thank Honorable Marie Johnson of District 2 for opening the road that we are able to be able to, and now she started the work at the time.
Yeah, Chief, I know you now want the PRO work. We will counter that. We'll find day to counter that. We want to know there's a Chinese company to that place there already. Yeah, thank you.
That this city, LRD Energy, they're not superintendent, they're not representative, but it's government of Nigeria through the
But who started to lobby? And if you listen to him, he said, thank God that the LEC boss, and wherever, and along with the president office, to at least adhere to his request. So that game, that debate, that conversation started initially from the things he put on their plate. So to let happy somebody somewhere, yes, we agree we can look up to you. Somebody can make some kind of request. But again, that is a good thing for us as people in county. The next concentrated debate has to do with the first phase of the 400,000 LRB contract that started from that the first lighting program started from from Port Town. From Port Town to come to Go Bolekin, they are in between. We are hoping that that contract don't include Solo Town, Tuzon, and Zai Town and Gwen Town. When they are included, there will be a duplication. On the ground that if this project, the one that program we just attended, is Solo Town, Go Bolaki, Solo Town, Zai Town, Gwen, when they are affected, then what happened with the contract with LRB Energy for electrification expansion in the first phase? So we gotta be too mindful and careful and prayerful that duplication will not come in. Again, whenever something happens good in this county, we personalize it. For the people around Gila County, then it should not be from the conversation with the senator. The other towns has to be included. All those towns have to be included. We need to do the inclusion of those towns. Then it should not be that the senator was the one who asked that it is the must that you put it down in, because the Grand Gila project now is for Grand Gila County. So we should not only bring it for a specific sectional dispute in the future to come, because Grand Gila County will quit to link things on the sectional basis. LRB Energy is doing three things. We have to be very careful because before some of our leaders be linked to LRB Energy in the short distant future to come. Because everything about Grand Gila County with regard to the electricity provision is LRB Energy. Our leaders are taking the decision LRB Energy of linking some of our leaders to LRB Energy as a secret shareholder. It will be very large when the public court lawyers raise that. So we have to be careful. We are now overloading LRB Energy. LRB Energy have $400,000+ contract. LRB Energy has the other try again. They are doing volunteer services. I don't know right now. They resolve it, but the public need to know. It should not be only ever be anything that has a statistic. The community themselves need to know those communities that the community members, those communities earmark for this just $280,000 worth of electrical material that coming in our country that just landed for the purpose of implementation. We need to be very serious and mindful. What is happening? What went wrong? What is the latest development?
Effectively to request players by this district representative Honorable Jeremiah Galsuka.
So it was Representative Jeremiah Galsuka that made the request, that requested to the government of Liberia to AC for electoral counting. This is it. So somebody somewhere initiated something.
Today, I'm here to bring from the back of this district the all locals in Benjamin. We are able to bring electricity material of about 280,000 dollars. These material will be used to restore the communities that do not have electricity. It is an area community that is not yet led to. We play the hand of blue wire. The other media is here. The very statistic. We want him over the next of months to reach out people to electricity.
So then it means that Kumantan doesn't have Aleppo. Zebetan doesn't have. Every community, they don't have. Babo Town, the intersection between Sano, River G, Maryland County, don't have Aleppo. This project is a ground gear project. It's not about two-person meeting and suggesting towns. The call through again, that read out the numbers 0880 878 382 0775 151 308 to put your call through. Let's take the caller. Good evening and welcome to the Voice of Gedeh Radio. Who am I talking to? Yeah, Mr. So go ahead.
Okay, my vision here is LRB leaving you to tell us the first 400,000 you got. What cases or which towns were captured within that budget? If we are aware of those towns and villages that are getting, then these current activities will also have their own communities and areas. But if we are
superintendent need to come call a citizen meeting and tell them.
Because the community that the 400,000 will to then declare so that we can know that when we see less in those communities with 400,000 less in that community or then we see that in our community that we can appreciate that. So that's my recommendation.
Okay, all right, sir. Okay, sir, thank you. Good evening and welcome to the Voice of Gedeh Radio. Who am I talking to and the community you call up from?
Thank you very much,
Contribution.
Thank you very much. First of all, I mean, appreciate the honorable representative of Champions Spirit in person, Honorable Jeremiah Kawasaka, who led for this material to be clear, in Nigeria to be used, Nigeria County from town to church. I want to set the mapping. I want to show you in sometime in February or one in the February. We get my community that the material will be used for, and the communities are sort of this time, the hosting is going to the country, to the offices, the Nabingo Quarter community, the Tamil community that comprised of so many communities. You can name that what is your the other communities, the Kura Pata, the youth, and the material will be used in the field community. So, as an ordinary citizen, I just want to appreciate the honorable man for his initiative, along with police, whether the senator of Nigeria candidate in person, and also my friend who advocated a federal and so on. Our district included all of the other towns. You tell them all office they are not only a half nation of Rama. We are identifying, let's say that I have the 33 round one. Talking about the 33 round is the 3 BD cable that up. The other people that do not have 33 round in the greater feature. The one we are talking about right now is the places that are compared to the 33 kg. So the community will benefit, the material will be used for the internal purpose, and the people in the community will have access to electricity. Because the electricity in Nigeria is stable compared to years back. So the people will be relieved from darkness. They will be able to make a cold water and our families to benefit our families. But one thing, they will install someone with material because they're not by free of charge. You will pay for the electricity. So once again, I want to say thank you. The Champions Spirit representative, our God, thank Jeremiah also found. For having a college where it's holy, also put anything feet to the fire, but then says, anything at the corner of this grave, there is a responsibility of anything to run the 33 land in their community. The contract between LBNJ and LC is to run the 33 village community. So there's no mistake that everything is listening to the honorable representative. So we also want to say we appreciate everything and listening to the representative and providing them material. And the material is not only the masses, the material people of praying to their country. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Chief, before you can go, one thing. Now, the material that you just received today, were you giving a way bill on the specification or the number of posts you received today?
Yeah, we're coming into a little bit low. If I make a question, I have a paper, I have it on my desk. I have all the material listed here. We're going to contact check the material tomorrow because we left on a program. So we are unable to have the will be on our desk. And I'm going to install the press. And we are unloading the material tomorrow morning. The press will be instructed, and the station is also instructed to witness the unloading of the material. And I'm going to display that with you to the press so that they can see the material I will have in our possession. So then they took the pool there, the pool of 50, but we only see 10, we only see 15, we only see 20, but where are the pools? For me, I'm a man, and I see another man. I work action. And I just talk. I want to see action. So tomorrow, I'm going to start the press. The press will be there. And doing the unloading of the material. To speak about the state, all morning, check the compound, and we start the unloading material.
Okay, Chief. Chief. The next thing, the community just listed Solo Town, Wayne Town, Zai Town, Galloville. The community just listed the material that you received today. Are the material for those communities?
Those communities are communities that are not.
For what? This one that just received today.
Sure.
Okay. Then my next question to you, Chief. No, I come in there. Yeah, there were. I come in, Chief.
So let's keep on the issue. The community attendance is not the local county
Project.
Local
Yeah, there were. I wanted to remind you, Chief. All right.
Yeah.
We heard from the Sano in that previous project. So now again, Sano Road now is being mentioned in this one.
If you talk of Channel Road, that was a very, very big community. We are talking about because we should record. So the need that a Channel Road is divided. The internet divided cities where the president, the president material on the spot, where the other one that was coming, the other one was start from, everything is not. It is a Channel Road.
Yeah, Chief. I know you said that because there was no specific printing office. The Sano Road.
Why can we speak to the material or say one today? Why can we speak to the material issue and forget what happened in the past?
Yeah, because we are mentioning, we talk about, we mentioned, we ventilated duplication. So if we talk about duplication, then we need to know because the superintendent of Grand Canada did not tell us that Sano Road Phase 1 that include Parkville, a free zone community that include map office. It only says Sano Road.
Okay, well, I think that is, how to say about speaking, if we complete Channel Road with the representative, the president of Channel, I said that, we will tell you call the Channel Road people. Then the Channel Cities and the Cemetery. Do you see other communities that were not here without benefit
No, there is a violation. It's a violation of our law. If you have a contract, the contract should be specific. If you mention in your contract that Sano Road, so that contract, that budget was resoluted for Sano Road.
we should forget the Channel Road, very key, focus on our community, then the Cemetery expenses come, then we focus on that.
That is the law, and that's what we should do because that's what the superintendent of this county told the people of Grand Gedeh County. So that's what we should do. But again, Chief, we will pray. We are praying and hoping. You have that action point the last time that you're supposed to win now, so that at least you can hear. There will not be telephone talk, so you can have spend at least 1 or 2 hours here, so that the people can get to know. Because the more you interact with the people, the better and good understanding the people will have. Because you are you.
I was just, and I tell you that next week, I will take a time to come to the studio to better explain to the people so that they can understand what we are doing here and how we are working with the local authority and the cost.
Okay, so I will announce it now that you will come Tuesday, Chief. Oh. Let me put it on the radio. Let me tell the people you can't Tuesday. It will not rain that day.
Why can we make tomorrow to find a better thing instead of Tuesday? Next Tuesday, when you get to get gas, that everything you are selling gas, you are putting for.
Okay, well, I will tell the people, yeah, we are on record right now being monitored around the world. I will say tell the people that we'll meet next week so that we can be able to plan it. But the manager for LRB Energy will appear on Voice of Gedeh radio before the end of the second week in April. So happy for the people of Grand Liberia so that we can close this debate. If you're ready, anytime you get this, just let us know. We can run the institution and that for the betterment, because that is our mission, vision statement to serving the people. Yeah, and I just hoping that nothing will interplay. Okay, sir. That would be good for the people of Grand Liberia County and for each and every one of us. It was a nice time talking to you and having you on our platform. Good evening. Welcome to the Voice of Gedeh Radio. Who am I talking to? Yeah, Mr. To, how are you? Go ahead.
I just want to recommend to for transparency and accountability. You just saw the work of Matthew and Luke. You are being given 200,000. When those materials are also purchased and brought to county, we want to see the 400,000 materials also and compare them to the 280,000 worth of material brought.
Mami, you LEC man, you pass or you yaw to know the difference. When they show you play, when they show you play, you not know a American they put that LEC jargon on it. All right, that was good thing. The LEC guy will be here next week, and then we are praying to have a debate. Good evening and welcome to the Voice of Gedeh Radio. Who am I talking to?
Okay, how you doing? I think this is my first time calling on your station.
That which we appreciate indeed. Who are we talking to? Didn't go. How are you?
And I want to thank God for Jerry, who is also my son, who has had the time to talk to you. And why are we just let to recommend to the county authority and that of weak energy is usually if you want to do monitoring. The monitoring, you must initially have what we call activities plan. And then do a substantial monitoring because when you plan the activities, during your monitoring, what you said you will have done or you have covered, the monitoring will help the activities plan will help you to be able to be able to give a correct justification. So I think this energy has been doing their best. And the counter authority too is then doing their best. People have been bought now. They need to have a plan. How many communities the material to cover?
Of course, yes.
The material will cover. How many communities the microbes will cover? They should follow in the plan. And how to do how they are going to do it. They are meters and whatever thing. Everything that they have there. And they do the plan, that plan will now allay the fear. It will be able to plan to tell us that, for example, some road that was not covered, that part of the road will be covered as a result of the plan, and that plan should be directly in collaboration with the development officer office of the county, and then it's shared with lead energy. They will do the implementation, because they will do that you will know exactly, because definitely even before the material that's supposed to have been done, then in a report that will have been led. So the material that has been given will cover so community, and the total number of flood zones or micro tariffs are the ones that are here. The number of meters are here. The number of wires are here. So this will have the plan. And so that it's good that Jerry has come in, and I think it's a good thing because it shows that he also wants to see a very clear activity. And the citizens are requesting, I want to say, he requested the level of work that he has done. be accounted, we should work with the county authority to do that plan so that we don't have have problems. Thank you guys, and I'm happy for covering this exercise. Thank you, development. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Chief. It was a nice time talking to you on Voice of Gedeh Radio. We'll soon be extending our invitation for a visitation to your office from different sectors now, anyway, so that when that time comes, we can be able to go to your office to talk more about Ground Gedeh and Liberia as a country. You know, our Deacon Freddy go. Now, project management. The most important thing for a successful project, every project ended. The most important thing is that you need to check. You need to look around. You need to pay attention to. So monitoring and evaluation is important for every project or doing every project implementation. When we are checking, we'll get to know what we plan to do as to whether we are living according to the indicator. All of these things, they are all important. In the absence of that, we will find it difficult to do our activities. And mind you, the perception of people here, the way they judge people, if you not be careful, you will take 50 years to explain one thing to the expected generation. Still, people will not believe it because your inability to explain to the people. Right now, the issue of the 400,000 here in question, that is more than 400,000 plus anyway, not provided to the people of this county. So they don't know. You see, we have an open statement that was made by the superintendent office. A public relation person at the time posted on the superintendent page, the office page, that 400,000 was used. And then the group Sano Road as a community, they say Sano Road and other communities. So besides Sano Road, there was no specification. So any project now that will focus on Sano Road now create a dark cloud. Good evening and welcome to the Voice of Gedeh Radio. Who am I talking to? Yes, sir.
I don't want to know services because you keep talking about 400,000. I do receive, I receive material. The first is that particular picture. I receive material for center, I receive material for breaking, I receive material for teaching. So the first year of that money, we are already exhausted. And we are waiting that we have to calculation to do with. Every energy, every energy, dangerous fresh. Tonight we see gas, we receive material. The material was brought to us, and we use it for the places and we should use material.
Okay. Okay, Chief. Okay, all right then. Then it will be good for us. Thank you. It was a nice time talking to you on Voice of Gedeh Radio for the second time. Now, it will be good for us when you are coming for us to have the deliberation. Then we'll also deeper into that. We'll go into that because it is a contract that you are quoting right now because the contract has specifications that you receive material in. So by the time we're meeting, we'll also be able to know who did the procurement because the communication from the superintendent office told us that all of the laws in this republic was observed. The public procurement procedure, the financial management best practices, and then in that, the public procurement concession out of this country and the proceeding in awarding contract to a company, they not say the local government will be the one to do the work, whatever the case is, because that amount hit the threshold. And then that contract has to be attested by the Ministry of Justice, and that contract has to be negotiated on our law by the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning. So when we meet by next week like that, then we'll go into it. But again, Voice of Gedeh continues to say there was a 400,000 plus contract with the energy. Not say the $400,000 cash they giving. No, there was a $400,000 US contract signed with LRB Energy, according to the documentation from the superintendent office. So that $400,000 are chief and the contract are operating on. Whether you receive material, you not receive material, a good debate. And here, rest assured, we debate the issue, not confrontation. This is where we don't transfer aggression. We can't discuss on the radio, no, our business. But here, how Grand Gedeh County should move forward. What is happening to the citizens in Bo and Plo, Kavala, Biaitaru? That is our concern. Because right now, the good and better decision that we are making, that we will take, that we anticipate to go into, will do Grand a good thing, and Liberia will be safe. For our just a right, it is next week. We are hoping, we are fasting this weekend. Tomorrow we start our fast, so that by next week we can be able to have you here, and that will be a good thing for the people of Grand Gedeh County. Again, let me sign this as an appeal to all of the Grand Gedeh politicians and Grand Gedeh leaders. We have an action point to meeting LRB Energy Executive here on next week. I know what you can do. You're going to place call to people. You're going to place call to LRB people so that they can be able to change their mind to not can yet. You can do that same thing there when people have cases to the court. You'll be calling the judges and the lawyer then. They care somebody at the police station. You can get a police chair to go into that issue. We're not coming here to call anybody need. Nobody say you're e-money. But that money that was resoluted from the country contract, that first phase material was sent to LRB Energy, that contract will be discussing. And Chief, you already take all that money there where you know about, you'll be putting it back right now. It's not the correct way you're taking for them, be putting it back. All right. So right now we have, as part of our conversation, 18 minutes past 11 p.m. in our country. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, based upon your location from the Gedeh Communication Network Incorporated. This is how we face the country, we face the issue. We want to know what is happening, what will happen, what has happened to Grand Gedeh County, Liberia land. Because, mind you now, we have people from our brothers and sisters from different counties coming here to contribute to the human resource development of our country and our county. So when they are here, their job, their responsibility should not be missing time and to lay their money into it. Whereby, at the end of the day, creating a condition to tantalize the repetition of another person. People benefit. Oh man, you know what the people say? When people can work here, when other people from here also working to build a country, nobody must feel that because they are big person, then they use their free hand to go be taking things in this sport. We'll take our final musical break when we are back. Then we close our second segment from this day broadcast. To join us, to join you, that together we can be able to have a conversation in our Saturday broadcast, at which time we'll be concluding 28 days in the month of March, hoping to join in February, in the month of April. Remember, April is April Fool around the world. And please, nobody will tell you, say, you pay away from here, I'm going to take time because it's to have family meeting there, and then you go there. If you quit to send people money on mobile money, nobody will tell you, say, I'm going to the hospital, and now so you must send it. money so that the doctor, nobody more can call you on telephone April 1st and tell you, say, I'm calling now from Ominga Kala Hospital of Transfer, this and that, referral hospital. So the money right now is in the theater within say. So you go, the man will be walking between Penny and Matan coming from all farm. So basically, that's it. It was a nice time talking to you on Voice of Gedeh Radio, being part of this family. We'll take our final musical break when we are back. Then we'll close on for this day so that together we can be able to face this county and country. I got that Murudwa is taking her home. Remember now that a good dancer must know when to leave the stage as a preacher still continuing. The judges from the public court and the grand jury are going to decide the fate of this country and county. Until then, I talk to you when I talk to you again. They call him Premon Semon. And from the Gedeh Communication Network Incorporated, on behalf of the board of directors and the management staff here, it was a nice time being part of our family team. We are hoping to see you by 5:45 tomorrow morning. Life is never ever what you think. The life we live today speak for tomorrow. Remember that the Bible mentions do my prophet know.